check this out, freaks. I was trimming right along, just going down the edge. Alright. The motor was still running, but the head stopped turning. Bad week. Yep, I got problems. So Monday, when I started cutting lawns, I went ahead and pulled up. It runs fine now, but the cord came all the way out. I didn't have time to deal with it. I've taken this apart before. There's a spring in there, a little system you gotta be careful with. Well, that's why I say you need dealer support. If you buy a nice piece of equipment, buy it from a real lawn dealer, because I took it there Monday night and dropped it off. Let them deal with it. I don't have time. So today, when I picked it up, I had to turn in my other one. But while I was there, I also spent, the total was $131. I put 45 bucks down for the trimmer I put in today. I got some more ugly line. This is the trimmer string that I like the best. It's like a triangle shape, and it's the 95 strength. This stuff doesn't break off on me, and it doesn't get tangled up. I'll show you how I string my trimmer in a second. I also picked up 3 more of these bump heads because I don't really care. Guys want to try and save a penny? I'm not going to try and save a penny. I'm going to tap it on the concrete if I want to get some more string out. These come pre-wound, so once this runs out, I'll replace it with the ugly line. Oh, I also picked up another cap. These will wear out by the end of the year. As you can see, as the bump knob wears down, the fresh ones will be sticking out pretty far. So as it wears down, the cap will start getting more wear on. So there you go. I'm prepared. I'm not going back there for a while. Well, I have to pick up my mower. So I bought 4 of these little 6-packs of oil. This is the Stihl HP Ultra. It's all I use. And it goes in all my handhelds. I'll show you how to mix that up here too. Okay, what I do is I usually keep a bunch of pre-cut string in my truck, ready to go. So, I'm gonna move that. That's from my 32 walk behind. Okay, I just tear it off, like enough that I go from my shoulder down to the ground, all right? You just pinch it somewhere. These come with a little cutter on it. You just stick it in the cutter, it's done. Just keep those 2 pieces together. Keep those 2 little pieces together and then just follow it all the way down. Let it spin around. And there you go. There's your perfect length. There's the same. Put in the cutter. Keep like 3 sets of this, like that, in the truck at all times. You're ready to go. This was the junk that was in the Red Max, which is actually junk I need to throw away. Here's another old spool that got so wore down it wouldn't bump anymore. Still had some string in it, but who cares, you know? Alright, I'm going to show you how to do it. Might as well use this jacked up one right here. But first we will unwind this leftover crap. Hey, like my little corner of the garage, huh? I got some nice poison up there. That's I don't know how you pronounce it, glyphosate. Basically, it kills all vegetation. You put that down, and you're not gonna have a weed or grass for a couple months. So it's great for like cracks and gravel areas and stuff like that. But it'd be bad if someone filled a water balloon full of it and just threw it in your yard, and it would leave a big old ring. Or, you know, super soaker water gun full of it, paint someone rips you off, right? You're probably thinking that stuff. Don't do it. Just like you should never try and get even with somebody. We get a super soaker, put paint stripper in it, go by and spray their car in the middle of the night. Don't do that either. That's bad thoughts. Why? Come on now, who would even think of that? I live in a Hoosier town. Stuff like that happens all the time. So, when they're pre-cut, you just put it right in this little hole in there. Am I really needing to show you guys this? Maybe I am. I'm just doing it for the heck of it, because I like talking to you, and you can type back to me. See how it works? Let's wrap it around. Always start with the top piece first, because you can hook that on there without getting the other one in the way. Grab another one. Man, I can do this on the fly, sweat dripping down my face. In the middle of a backyard, I have this stuff hanging out in my pockets, along with garbage and stuff I'm picking up. I swear, some of these yards, I don't know, like I said, I live in a Hoosier town. There you go. Pop that sucker in there, you're good to go. I just strung up one that I can't use. I really do love these Stihl trimmers. These are the FS70s. I love them. Just over 3 years for both of them. And this is the first time they went in the shop, and they both went in the same week. Of course, one was minor, just a cord. The other one, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's a problem. So that's all you do. You pull the cap right off. And this one needed a string anyway. It was running out. How much we got? Not much. Well, that wasn't enough to even, no, that wouldn't have made it down the sidewalk. So, might as well hook it up while I'm here. Over in this corner, you'll also see a bunch of old bed sheets and stuff. What I use those for when I trim bushes, okay? You go out there and you start trimming hedges and bushes, you'll want to lay that stuff down, especially if they're like in lava rock or a mulch bed. You don't want to get the clippings all in there. How are you going to get it out, right? You can't blow it out. You're blowing the stuff all over into the yard. Lava rocks, they blow right out into the yard too. So you lay those down in there and collect the clippings on it. It cuts down a lot on it. I have a couple of them that I split. I could put a split in it. So you can go and put like a tree skirt. You just wrap it around the bush. And then you just go all crazy on it, you know, cut some crazy designs on it. And then you just kind of like keep it all under. You get rid of it, keeps 90% of it out of the rocks, you know. So that's another tip for you. Let's go out here and trim my sidewalk again. That's right, the famous sidewalk, the ice trimming sidewalk. I'll show you at both angles you can do that. Okay, you'll notice here that I tap the bump knob that always wears down on the concrete. I like to tap it on the concrete instead of the yard because I do not want to leave a cut in the yard when I'm doing it, a groove. So as I'm going here, you'll notice that I'm actually standing in the yard, which a lot of people cannot do, but I am just accustomed to it. I'm pretty tall, I can still see my groove, and I've been able to do it for years like this too, and still keep a straight line. Now, one of the things about trimming an edge with your trimmer is you cannot be going like, I couldn't be going the opposite way, like backwards right there. It would be fighting the spin of the head, the rotation, and I would be getting a goofy looking cut, all right? You can't control this good. Now here I am walking down the line. I was actually walking backwards, now forward, but standing in the sidewalk cutting the groove. Again, I'll start backwards, but on the sidewalk. And then I'll switch to forward, but on the sidewalk. So there is not a right or wrong way. It's what feels comfortable to you that allows you to put down the nice, crisp, straight line edge without fighting the rotation of the head. Now that's a 45-degree angle right there I'm just cutting at. Not everything actually needs an edge, so that's what they say when I say give it a 45. That's the 45-degree angle. Now right there I'm going to the right, which mine I'd be fighting the rotation. I'll show you again on the tree right here. Here I am going around the tree in the correct manner with the going with the rotation of the head. Now here I am going back, which is a little bit harder, but on something like this it doesn't matter. It actually wouldn't scar the tree up because it doesn't have enough power to scar the tree up. Now here, remove your gutter. Be careful around vinyl siding. You can rip this stuff up. So what I'm saying is if you bump that siding, it's going to put holes and cuts in it, and you're going to be responsible. So you wouldn't want to do like I'm going to do right here. Go backwards along it, because that right there could actually lift it up and get you, into the siding. Another thing to watch for is the windows. I just showed you my big window in the front of the house. So I'm going to come up the sidewalk shooting it. See if anything was to fly out of that crack, it would have went behind me. Now I'm going to start over, walk all the way back down the sidewalk and come back up the same way so that nothing would have that potential, couldn't possibly fly up and hit the window. Again, if I started right here up by the house and coming out to the sidewalk, I could throw a rock into my picture window. Instead, I start out by the street, so if I throw anything, it's coming out behind me. And that's what you need to be aware of. One way you might be able to pick up more weekly yards is to tell them that if you cut weekly, you'll be able to mulch. And when you mulch the grass, instead of discharging it out the side, it goes back down into the soil and decomposes and gets used back up. So if they have fertilized their lawn, the nitrogen that they spent their money on is going back into the soil, and it doesn't need to be fertilized as often, and you stay greener and it lasts longer than if you were to bag it up each week and take that grass away with you. You're also taking away all that nitrogen, all that fertilization that they spent money on. So something to think about. So I always use the Stihl Ultra oil, and I just take the top off my gas cans. Yes, I still have the old school gas cans. Don't tell anybody, I'm bootlegging it. Just pour one in to a gallon, so one thing of the oil to 1 gallon of the gasoline, and it will fit in any of the Stihl products. So trimmer, blower, hedge trimmer, whatever, it doesn't matter. That is my mixed fuel, works for everything.